Hey fellow developers, I wanted to let you know that the AudioFilePlayer plugin that lets you play back audio files in the audio plugin host has been updated. So I'm going to show you in this video what has changed. This plugin is a solution for the Windows users that watched my Simple EQ video. In that video I was using Apple's AudioFilePlayer plugin, which let me run audio through the Simple EQ while I was developing it and using Audio Plugin Host to do the testing. So Windows users did not have a free plugin that would let them do that. So I had migrated over this AudioFilePlayer demo that came with Juice. That's here. Let's see if I go to File, Open, Example, Audio. Let's see, is it, I think it was the audio playback demo, or maybe it was one of these, maybe it was under GUI. Anyway, it was one of these somewhere in here. I ported it over to be a plugin that could run inside Audio Plugin Host, but it had the fatal flaw of every time you used it, it would not remember the file that you had open. Now, if you know anything about the workflow that goes with developing audio plugins, you're continually, running Audio Plugin Host, finding a bug, stopping Audio Plugin Host, making changes to the code, recompiling, rerunning Audio Plugin Host. And because this thing did not remember the file that you had open every time you closed the GUI, you'd have to reload the audio file, which was super, super lame. And that is no longer the case. So check it out. I've got AudioFilePlayer VST3 here set up. It's already set up to spawn Audio Plugin Host when I run it. You can check out my video which shows how to configure Visual Studio to do that, so it automatically runs Audio Plugin Host. Anyway, we are going to compile this and we are going to run it, and I will show you how this works. All right, give me 1 second. We'll wait for this to spin up. All right, cool. So here's the plugin. I've already got it loaded with something, but I'm gonna just delete this real quick, and we'll do this from scratch, okay? So I already did my scan, which would be Options, Edit List of Available Plugins. Go to Options, Scan for New or Updated VST3 Plugins. Okay, I already did that. So I can just right click. It's gonna show up as Matkat Music LLC, AudioFilePlayer. All right, and here we go. So if I wire this up to my Simple EQ, and then I double click on it, here's the plugin itself. All right, there's no audio file loaded, so I'm going to go to the desktop, choose this. Now there's an audio file loaded, so if I press play, it's going to start playing it, and it's going to run through Simple EQ, which is great. Okay, so like I was saying, it's like if I find a bug like this control doesn't do what it's supposed to do, I would then stop and I would close this. Yes, save changes. And then I would go in here and I would, edit the code accordingly to my plugin. And then I'd be like, all right, let's try this. Let's see if it solved it. I'd rerun it. It would spawn. And yeah, so what would happen previously is that this audio file would not get loaded, and I would have to go to desktop and I'd have to go find that audio file. Now it remembers it, which is a huge time saver. And this was actually a really difficult problem for me to solve. So if you want to know how I solved it, just take a look at the commit history for this particular project, and you'll get to see all the code that was changed. And yeah, it's quite a complicated process, but it works now. So all you have to do to benefit from this is go to the repository link in the description, clone the repository, open the juicer file. Let me close all this. All right, so you're gonna go clone the file, and maybe you'll do it in Fork, or maybe you'll do it with command line or with Visual Studio directly. Then once you've got it cloned, let's see, it's gonna show up here, and you're gonna see the master branch. Here's where all of the here's all the stuff I did over the past couple days to get this feature implemented. You're gonna clone it. You're going to open in File Explorer. You're going to open the juicer file. So we've got right here. Then you're going to save and open in IDE. That's going to open up Visual Studio, and then you're just going to compile it. And then you're going to need to change the export settings here. Go through here, follow my video which shows how to do that. Basically change what happens when this gets run, and be sure to set the VST3 as the startup project. And then run local Windows debugger. That will compile it, and then that will launch Audio Plugin Host, and then you can just do the scanning. All right, so I'm excited about this update because it's going to help a lot of Windows users. I had a good time figuring out the problems that needed to be solved for this, and yeah, that's it. If you want to take a look at the code once it's open, it's inside the shared code folder. You can take a look at the source code here. You can see all the good stuff. All the good stuff. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Deuces.